Hey, what's up guys? Drop my pencil there. Welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. Today we're going to be doing a kind of basic overall 101 talk on artifacts. What are they? So coming to this video, you might not know what they are, you might not know what's going on in Legion, so I'm going to do a lot of these 101 videos giving you a good overview of what's going down. Now, it's not going to be a super in-depth thing into, oh, these talents are changing and these abilities get these tweaks and buffs and nerfs and all this stuff. I want for you guys who love WoW but aren't super big into checking all the data mining and checking all the cool information that's coming out, you just want to know basically what's going to be happening in Legion, I'm going to give you that information. So artifacts are your weapons for the expansion. Now, it's a very different system than we've had before. Instead of picking up weapons along the way, oh, I killed this guy, I'm going to take his sword, blah, 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 some random green hunk of junk metal thing lying on the ground, you actually, as soon as the expansion starts and you go through this big opening, like, scenario quest line, you go find someone from your faction, someone from your class, says, we need your help, you need to get this powerful weapon, do this thing. For example, paladins are sent off to help Tyrion. And you end up with this artifact, this weapon of immense power that you get to use to fight against the Burning Legion with. That will essentially be your weapon for the entire expansion. And they're massive, like, lore artifacts. And there's some of them there's one for every individual spec. So a lot of the artifacts are things that are just been created, things that have just been brought up. Like the Deadwind Harvester is the Affliction Warlock staff, but the lore about it is just been created. A lot of the lore has just been brought up for this. Everyone has their own things. There's a skull of the Man'ari, which is this floating skull thing that demonology warlocks get to follow them around. And we don't know the lore of any of this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's lore specifically new to Legion. For example, Survival Hunters. And then there's stuff like the Ashbringer. Retribution Paladins get to wield the Ashbringer. Tyrion Fordring's sword that he used to, fight off the Lich King. Finally defeat the Lich King. And cool stuff like that. Or if you're an Enhancement Shaman, you get to wield the Doomhammer. Thrall's Doomhammer. And that's things we don't know. We don't know why we get the Doomhammer yet. Like, how do you get these kind of things? So big, crazy lore moments are tied to a lot of these things. And there's 36 of them. Every single spec, every single class, each of their specs has their own. And a lot of them are tied to really cool things about the spec. Fire mages get Falo Malorn, the sword of Kael'thas, that he went toe-to-toe with the Lich King using. Like, this sword went toe-to-toe with Frostmourne. It's really cool stuff. I got a little notes here, by the way. And what makes them unique, different from anything you pick up, and not just like an heirloom weapon where it levels up with you, it will scale up with you, like almost all of the content in Legion. But on top of that, it has its own talent point system. So it's very similar to the old talent tree, mixed in with the old, Path of the Titans, if you ever saw that. Basically, your artifact, as you do cool things, you level up and get more abilities for your artifact. You get more points for your artifact, which you can spend in this tree that starts off with one ability that you get automatically. Branch off into a bunch of small abilities, buffs, and then 3 major abilities at the end of the tree. And at BlizzCon, they said you will likely need to work on your artifact for a few months before it's maxed out. That being said, if you do multi-spec, there will be catch-up mechanisms. So likely your first artifact will be a lot harder to level up than your other ones. So I guess if you've gotten like 4,000 artifact points, and it's like 100 to get your first one, so I think that's a good marker. 4,000 artifact points to get to your thing, your first big ability, and that took you, I don't know, a month. My guess is you'll get like double artifact points on your next one, or so on and so forth. But once you get past that 4,000 mark, it kind of slows down again. That's my assumption on how the scaling catch-up mechanism is going to work. But that's basically what it's going to be. You get to have this cool weapon that's a big lore thing, and it's incredibly badass. It looks like a legend. You have your own legendary weapon, and I think it is legendary orange text, which is really cool. You get your own legendary, essentially. Doomhammer, Ashbringer, Valyria Windrunner's bow. A bunch of really... The daggers that killed Lane Rin. The daggers that killed Varian's father. Like, that's really cool. You get Garona's daggers. But you might be wondering, or you might be saying, I like my weapon. I like the fact I'm going through this expansion. And you're picking up a bunch of these weapons, and you get to see different weapons, right? You don't want to carry just the Lightbringer on your back the entire game. Because admittedly, Lightbringer is a cool weapon, but look-wise, it's an old model. Even though they have updated it, it looks... It is kind of basic. It's a wedge with a circle floating in it. But the good thing about this is, as you go along, as you complete challenges throughout the game and complete story quest lines and so on, you will actually pick up different skins for your artifact weapon. It will change shape. You can go into your big class hall, which I'll get into in another video. It will change shape, and you get to have another... It looks like another weapon, essentially. So, let's say there's, I don't know, 10 sword weapon models in Legion, okay? Or let's say, or Pandaria, there was like your standard two-handed swords, there was about 5 models for that. And then some that came in the raids. Now, about every artifact has 5 models that you can change between. And each of those 5 models has 5 different colors. So you basically still have the whole gamut and the same amount of weapons you can get. And I'm betting with the next raid tier and the next like patch 7.1, you can then get more skins for your artifact weapon. So they won't be restricting you the entire expansion to those first 5, even though a lot of them will be pretty hard to get. And I'm guessing some like skin tones. They have said some skins are specifically tied to PvP ranks with the PvP level up system now, which I'll get into in another video as well. And like some of them might be tied to rating and so on and so forth. But they're most definitely going to be adding a few things in. Maybe even dropping, like, I don't know, because some people still want to get weapons that they can transmog later on. So they might be dropping cosmetic weapons that you can transmog things into and stuff like that. So I'd say if you love transmog and you're not completely sold on the first image of the artifact you see, like some of the ones I post up, do go look around the internet. I'll see if I can post some links down below to MMO Champions data mining of all the artifact skins. They have videos and galleries of all the skins, so I'll post a link down below hopefully. And now a big thing with that is as well, like for example, the artifact for Protection Paladins and Protection Warriors is a shield. So what happens to your sword? Do you just go find a sword and carry it? No, you actually get, like, you equip the shield. It's one item, but it gives you, like, you also then equip a sword. And so that sword will level up as well and will, like, change look and everything when you change. For example, the only example we've seen yet, they haven't implemented the looks for the swords yet, like the offhand swords. But they have implemented Philomalorn, the Fire Mage artifact. It is a single one-handed sword with a offhand, like, scepter bauble thing. But that changes looks with every single skin shell of the artifact weapon. So I don't think you have to be worried about how it's going to look in the end. I think it's going to be really cool, and you guys are going to be really happy with these artifacts you get. We're going to see more and more of it. And again, at the end of the day, if you still don't like anything you have, you can transmog any other weapon in the game, any other, daggers or swords or whatever that will match that artifact to that slot. So, no big deal. They haven't told us if we can, after the expansion, because, you will get attached to this really cool weapon. It's like, I wielded the Ashbringer. And then we go into the expansion, I'm going to start wielding this much stronger, green, rusty piece of crap sword I found on the ground. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with that. Hopefully they're going to let you transmog that weapon on, so you'll still just have a bunch of Retribution Ashbringer Paladins running around for the rest of the game. And then, some player that comes in 10.0, 10.1, they're going to run back to the Legion expansion and go get their artifact weapon and so on. I don't know if they're going to close that off, but we don't know what's going to happen with that. We don't know what's going to happen with future transmog opportunities. Either way, guys, thanks for watching this video. Anything you want to know more about artifacts, so on, or any 101 topics you want covered to get a good overview of what's going on without trying to parse through confusing data mining and everything like that, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you want to see. If you like this video, leave a like. If you dislike this video because, I don't know, I didn't go in depth enough, leave a dislike. You know what I mean. And if you want to see more of my videos, remember to subscribe. I also have another channel.
Just put your mouth to it and just suck a little bit. Ugh. Sexy drip.
Where I review movies, anime, TV shows, things like that. I'll post a link down below to that, or comment on the video somewhere. And, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.